Taken with the Tundra by Gabrielle Stetz and Cassie Charbonneau.
Some general characteristics that apply to both the alpine and the Arctic tundra are an extremely cold climate, low biotic diversity, simple vegetation structure, limitation of drainage, short season of growth and reproduction, energy and nutrients in the form of dead organic material, and large population oscillations.
Most abundant nutrients found in the soil of the tundra are nitrogen and phosphorus. Also, dead organic material functions as a nutrient pool.
One of the two types of tundra is the Arctic. The Arctic is located in the northern hemisphere and stretches south to the taiga. It's mostly like a desert, except a lot colder, and the average winter temperature is negative 34 degrees Celsius. The average summer temperature is 3 to 12 degrees Celsius. Annual yearly precipitation is 6 to 10 inches, and the permafrost that exists is what gives it most of its characteristic look. It's a layer of permanently frozen subsoil. Also, bogs and ponds may form when water saturates the upper soil surface, and that allows for some plants to grow.
The second type of tundra, the alpine, is located in mountainous regions all across the world. It has a 180-day growing season, and the temperature at night can get below freezing. The soil there is also well drained, meaning that no bogs are formed.
Generally, Arctic plants do not have deep root systems. Because of the occurrence of 24-hour light periods, there are booms of growth. Most of the plants grow low to the ground, and they're adapted to the sweeping winds and disturbances in the soil. During the winter, they're protected by snow, and they have the ability to photosynthesize during cold and low light conditions. Most reproduce asexually by budding and division, and there are approximately 400 species of flowering plants.
The animals of the Arctic have adapted to handle long cold winters and reproduce quickly in the short summers. They've evolved to have an additional insulation of fat in order to ward off the cold temperatures. They show hibernation and migration patterns. There are little to no reptiles or amphibians due to the cold weathers. There are continually oscillating populations due to emigration and immigration.
The herbivores that are present in the Arctic are lemmings, voles, caribou, Arctic hares, squirrels, and reindeer. The carnivores are Arctic foxes, which are pictured in the upper left, wolves, and polar bears, which are pictured in the lower right. The birds that are common in the Arctic are ravens, snow buntings, falcons, loons, sandpipers, terns, gulls, and penguins. Insects that are commonly seen are mosquitoes, flies, moths, grasshoppers, black flies, and Arctic bumblebees. The fish that are there are cod, trout, salmon, and flatfish.
Some examples of Arctic plants are low shrubs, sedges, reindeer mosses, which are found on the right side, liverworts, which are the left-hand picture, and various grasses.
Both alpine plants and animals are very similar to the ones found in the Arctic. However, there are very few trees found up in the high altitudes.
Some of the mammals found in the alpine are pikas, which are in the left bottom corner, marmots, mountain goats, which is in the bottom right-hand corner, sheep, elk, which is in the top left-hand corner, and snow leopards. Birds are goose-like birds, and insects are springtails, beetles, grasshoppers, and butterflies.
Examples of alpine plants are the tussock grasses, heaths, dwarf trees, and small leaf shrubs. Pictured in the bottom right corner are the tussock grasses.
Some of the animals that are on the endangered species list in the alpine and Arctic are the Arctic fox, caribou, polar bear, the Arctic peregrine falcon, which is no longer endangered, the musk ox, which is also no longer endangered, Eskimo curlew, and the wood bison.
The wood bison stands 6 feet tall and weighs 2,000 pounds or more. They're mostly found in the interior Alaska and Canada, and they've been on the endangered species list since 1973.
The Arctic fox is found in coastal Arctic areas of Eurasia, North America, Greenland, and Iceland. They are 1.2 meters long and can weigh up to 4.5 kilograms. In the winter, their coat is white, and in the summer, their coat is brown to blue-gray. They are protected only in some regions, and in the regions where they are not protected, it is the main game for the indigenous people.
Caribou are not on an endangered species list yet, however their food source and habitat is being depleted. Habitat destruction is from mining, drilling for oil, hunting, and road building. And climate change has caused the lichen and moss that they eat to be buried under the snow. They are found in the Queen Elizabeth Islands located in Canada and northwestern coast of Greenland.
Polar bears range from Alaska through Canada and into Russia. There has been exhibited habitat destruction, such as the ice packs that they den in, and decreased food supply, such as seals, due to climate change, which is, for example, melting snow and ice.
The Eskimo curlew is the most endangered species that inhabits the tundra. It's also known as the prairie pigeon or the northern curlew. It nests in the Arctic tundra and migrates south for winter. It's 12 inches long and known as a shorebird.
Some of the endangered plants found in the Arctic are the Aleutian shield fern, which is found in the far left picture. It's found in the Aleutian Islands, Alaska, at elevations of 1,200 to 1,700 feet. Next, we have the Aleutian wormwood, which is pictured in the middle, and is found on the Aleutian Islands, Alaska, at elevations of 700 feet. Lastly, we have the sessile leaf scurvy grass, which is pictured on the far right and is found in the Kodiak and Sitkalidak Islands in Alaska intertidal zones. The biggest threat to the tundra is oil and gas development, which results in global warming. This global warming causes melted permafrost, which contains high amounts of carbon dioxide from dead organic material, which further progresses global warming. Also, airborne pollutants with DDT and PCBs are a big threat to the tundra.
Research and conservation that's being done in the tundra includes work to protect the salmon population in Alaska done by the Nature Conservancy. They are implementing harvest management in Canada for polar bears, monitoring the sea ice habitat fragmentation for polar bear conservation, so looking at the patterns of the ice fragmentation. They are also looking to see if the polar bears have developed any gene mutations due to the climate change. They are also looking at other ways to limit greenhouse gas. Conservation and research being done in the tundra is monitoring the population of the Arctic foxes as well as their asymmetric competition. Arctic foxes are also being researched for their den use versus how close they are to human infrastructure or how high or low of an altitude they're at. And endorhizal fungi have begun being researched, specifically endophytes, and they've also formed wood bison herds.